KrakenCon, welcome back to the Squiddly Show. How we doing? That was mild. You guys had some lunch. You got some food coma yawns. That's okay. But let's get the energy going. Let's get loud. Give it up for your next guest. You know her from Kim Possible and Even Stevens. Give it up for Christy Carlson Romano. Welcome.
What's up, Kraken?
Yeah.
What's Kraken, huh? If no one has made that joke yet, I just did. So
you're the first.
It's been done.
On this stage, you are the first.
Today.
You're breaking new ground.
Thank you. On the ship.
On the Hornet. On the Hornet.
Oh, the USS Hornet. Is that it? We're on the USS Hornet.
That is where we are.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I know you're fairly new to showbiz. I don't want you to be really intimidated by the fact that I have over 700 Twitter followers.
I'm extremely intimidated.
Just relax.
All right. I'll try to chill out.
Yeah.
Speaking of Twitter, what's your handle?
At David Studebaker.
At David Studebaker. And mine is at Christy Romano. All of you guys, follow me, please.
Follow her.
It takes a village.
You can.
It takes a village to tweet.
That's right.
You can't tweet all by yourself to no one.
That's right. That's true. You know what? That's wise words right there. That's wise words. So we're gonna have a little chat. I don't know if was anyone here for the previous panels. Make some noise if you were, or raise your hand. Very polite. Okay, cool. So we have some new people. I'm gonna ask some questions. We're gonna have a nice, cordial chat, and then at a certain point, we will open it up to you guys for Q&A. Don't line up yet, but we'll create a line by that microphone when I tell you. So we got the parameters. We're all good. We're ready to rock.
Yeah.
So, where are you from? Where's your hometown? I'm sure you live either in LA or New York now.
Yeah, I live in LA, but I'm originally from the East Coast. I'm from Connecticut, a small town in Connecticut called Milford. It's over by like New Haven, where Yale is and everything. It's really beautiful. I love to go there. I was actually just there at the Hartford Con, and then I'll be returning for Rhode Island Comic Con, and I'll be with Will Friedle, who plays Ron Stoppable, and we have never been together at a Comic-Con, so this will be really cool to give us a chance to reconnect. So I love cons.
Head to Rhode Island. You guys know where to be.
It's very far away.
What's the date?
Oh gosh, shoot, it's the first weekend in November that we'll be there. So
okay.
I don't know. I have to check. I think it's like the 4th, 5th.
Check it out, Rhode Island Con, baby.
But that's no promotion at all. I'm just mentioning what I'm up to.
Yeah, no, that's good. So, I mean, I was a big fan of yours. You probably know you're like every millennial guy's middle school crush.
Oh, that's right. You tweeted me that.
I did.
Ah,
you're
yes.
aware. I mean, I'm sure there's still many people who have crushes on you now, but
I used to have a joke back in the day. I'd be like, I could get a date at like under 5 feet tall any day of the week.
Right. And you were when you were playing Ren Stevens, you were older than the character, right?
I was a couple years older. Let's see. I guess she was 2 years younger than me, which is a significant, you know, when you're like 14 to 16. So yeah. I was 16 the day. Well, when we shot the pilot episode, it was originally called Spivey's Kid Brother, and you know, Shia was like only about maybe 9, 10 years old. He was such a baby. And I was 14, and it took them about a year and a half to get it greenlit into a series. So by the time I started the first episode, I was 16. It was on my 16th birthday. So then I was about, you know, 2 years older than Ren, and she grew up, you know, and she didn't actually go into college or high school. But that's Disney for you, you know. You kind of. Right. I mean, now I think with Jesse and these other people, like there's definitely a barrier that's been broken through with having older people. There's been some talk, I think, in theory, about if Kim Possible came back, would she be sort of in college, if she would be the college-aged Kim. Somebody asked me if maybe she would have kids. I have no idea. but you know, like anything's possible.
It's true. It's true. I feel like in that time. Oh.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, that's good. Well, they did like there's now the Girl Meets World.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I just saw something about how Nickelodeon's bringing back what is it, Keenan and Kel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
90s in the house. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
I feel like though at that time you were the thinking man's crush. Like there was like there was the Hillary Duff people, and then there was the Ren Stevens, there was the Christy Carlson Romano.
I was
people.
the thinking man's crush.
What I mean by that is that the Hillary Duff thing, there was that, but you were like, you had depth, you had strength to your character. You were like, it was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was strong. It was,
This is like, I'm blushing right now. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I never saw myself like that, but like the fans were always just so awesome. I guess you could say I was like everyone's older sister, kind of. That was my casting.
Okay.
What is that?
I don't know if you haven't been here for this. There's a guy trying to get people to go on an island tour up there, and no one's going, and they keep.
What island are we good? It's like.
See, I was confused too. Apparently, there's an island right there. That
sounds
term.
shady.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that.
But actually, let's.
He sounds nice enough, but this is just. There's like a ghost tour and like.
I agree.
That sounds cool but scary.
We're gonna switch out the mic.
That's fine. I can continue to vamp.
Yeah, you can use mine.
Oh jeez. Oh, I see this one. Oh, okay. That's a nice mic that we just were using.
There you go. Thank you.
This isn't a nice mic.
Stephen Gary, everyone.
Stephen Gary!
Coming in the clutch. We had some mic issues, and he saved us. All right.
Okay. You can hear me okay? I feel like I'm a little softer. So yeah, no. We all kind of had our places. It was almost like the Mickey Mouse Club.
All right, can we get the sail? Can someone put a weight down here for this?
We're gonna sail away.
Yeah, this is.
This is like a sail. That's okay. I don't care. It makes me look like flowing, mystical. Good job.
All right, I think we got it.
You're officially like the host with the most.
Yeah, I'm the host and stage manager, apparently.
But everyone had like their own little role to play.
Yeah.
Hillary was sort of like the cute, fun girl, and Shia was the zany clown guy, and I was like the older sister. And it grows from there. And I think these are what you call archetypes that Disney has provided for their demographics. And at the time, there was a lot of women watching Disney Channel, or little girls, and they wanted to start getting more boys to watch because they wanted to get better ratings and compete with Nickelodeon. And so I think Kim Possible was so popular because it included the Ron character, but Kim still was sort of like not super girly girl, but she was still a girl. So it's interesting with the way that Disney works. Is like they're really good at making everything accessible to everybody. So I think Kim was a perfect example of that. And then also too, originally my show, Even Stevens, was just Shia's show. And then when they test marketed it, they saw that they needed to have a girls element to it, so they promoted me to sort of being a co-star to him. So yeah, I think it's interesting the way things develop. It's just the artistic process.
Yeah, well, and speaking of Kim Possible, now I know this is not your fault. I blame the Disney people. However, there was an ad that they ran for like every 15 minutes for 4 years that had you as Kim Possible saying, "Jinx, you owe me a soda."
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. That is still stuck in my head to this day.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah, I randomly comes up. I don't know why.
Jinx,
but
you owe me a soda.
Right,
I didn't say it.
Yeah.
That was just going through your head.
It was.
It didn't really happen.
Yeah, no, it's true. It might as well, because every day that comes through.
Yeah.
Was that ever weird with Disney? Because I know how they market things, like they really
well, now it's funny because I just met with them recently about, hopefully working with them in the future, and, ABC Family or ABC. I really love them very much, and I've never done anything to go off like the deep end or anything crazy. So it's possible that I could be working with them in the future, God willing. And they're a great company to work for. Some people are Disney fans, some people are other fans, but Disney's a great company, and I don't ever have anything.
I'm a Disney fan. I have nothing bad to say.
Why not?
They're great.
Yeah,
they're great.
So anyway, now they have like 58 or 70, something like 70 kids that they employ, versus like us where it was like 4.
Yeah.
And then if you guys saw the Circle of Life video, I don't know if you remember back in the day, then they had like 15, and it was like growing and growing and growing. But when we started, it was really just the 4 of us.
You were the OGs.
We were the OGs.
It was the ground floor.
Original gangsters.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Of Disney Channel.
And speaking of which, like you said, you haven't had a crazy, it seems, personal life from what you can see, but I'm very impressed.
Yes, from what you can see.
From what you can see, you never know. You might have whatever. But from what I read, you do some really amazing work outside of what, like, for instance, there's a lot of different stuff, but I'm a big St. Jude Children's Hospital. I donate. I'm a supporter. And you were on like the Young Teens Hollywood panel at some point for that. That's in your bio.
Yeah, St. Jude's is awesome. It's I believe it's in. I went to Nashville, or was it Tennessee?
Yeah.
I visited the facility, and literally, it's $1 million a day to run that place, and no child that goes there gets untreated, even if they're not medically covered or have medical. And if they're from the area, if they're from low-income families, like, they all get treated. And I met this one child who was in that category, and he had eye cancer, and my dad coincidentally ended up getting eye cancer later in life. But I mean, it was just such an impactful moment to be hugging this child who, just had his eye removed. And St. Jude's is the real deal, you know what I mean? And like, it was such an honor to be a part of that, and they wanted to get the word out. Unfortunately, I don't think that the Young Hollywood Committee really came to fruition like they wanted it to, but I was down for the cause.
The rest of them flamed out, but you held strong.
I guess, I don't know. No, I think, I just don't know if internally it was something that was adopted that much. But
you do a lot of other things too.
I do. I mean, I do as much as possible, and I don't really try to throw down, my opinions or thoughts down people's throats, but I just try to advocate for positive stuff.
You're an American hero, is what we're trying to say, right?
Oh,
she's an American hero, right?
No,
right?
no, no.
Come on, get the energy going.
That seems so silly because we're on a ship that was, housed so many American heroes. I also married a veteran, a military veteran. He was a Marine.
Give it up, give it up.
He's not here.
Really? That's all you got for a Marine? Let's go. Come on. We're on the Hornet.
Yeah.
Show some respect.
Yeah.
There are ghosts on this thing.
Yeah, no, you better clap, right? You're just going to slip down those stairs when you walk down.
I saw you weren't clapping hard, Jimmy. You're going down. So, you're from Connecticut.
Yeah, originally from Connecticut. Like I said, well, I actually didn't include this part. I was starting in musical theater because I was so close to New York City, and then ended up stumbling into, being part of television with Los Angeles and even Stevens and whatnot. And again, there was like a year there where I was not sure what was gonna happen, if I was gonna stay in New York, but then eventually we came back out. And then I just kind of joined the Disney family, and then from there, a funny story about Kim Possible. I originally auditioned for it, and they had Allison Hannigan in mind from Buffy to play Kim Possible. She has red hair and green eyes, and she's super bubbly and kind of has like a really kind of weird voice, But I think she would have been a great fit. But what they liked about my voice was that I had this ability to be really sarcastic, as well as being sort of, I don't know, youthful, Valley girl kind of, but not stupid sounding girl. Yeah. So feminine but not, ditzy kind of thing. So I think they wanted this dynamic, and I think when they're casting for animation particularly, more now than ever, they're looking for like a real dynamic voice rather than somebody who's just sort of like in one...
They wanted the thinking man's middle school crush.
Oh,
that's what they wanted.
I would say that KP is much more that than... Well, maybe they both are, but so I guess I've been lucky with the characters. So yeah, it's been good. It's been a good ride.
And this is random, but your godfather is Chris
so
Dodd.
Random.
By the way,
I don't know if anybody knows who that is.
Oh, I'm a big political junkie. Author of the Dodd-Frank Act. I think we all know what that is, right, guys?
Things?
Guys, right? Can we give it up for the Dodd-Frank Act? Oh, I actually knew about that. I'm a big political junkie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know about Politicon?
Politicon?
Yeah,
No.
that happened in LA. There was a Politicon that's actually coming up.
That just sounds depressing. Like, I feel like that'd just be a lot of arguing. Just, like, who goes? Is it like...
Well, I'm thinking that it must be really cool to see all the Trump impersonators that are going to be there.
That's true. That would be nice.
Yeah, no, but it'll be... Because, you know, that's like one of the big selling Halloween...
of course.
Is sexy Trump.
Sexy Trump, wow.
Sexy Trump, which is like a total oxymoron.
Yeah, right? Or depending on your perspective, I mean, that Trump is sexy.
Wow.
Who knows?
Wow, you took it there.
Do you find Trump sexy?
I'm married, so no, I don't find anyone and anything sexy.
Listen, I mean...
Except like a bathtub and
I'm
Pinterest.
getting married in a month and a half. I find Trump sexy, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
That's awesome.
Maybe a little. Who knows? I don't know.
Cool. This is awesome. This is a good talk we're having.
I don't know
I'm feeling good about this.
I don't know how we got to the Dodd-Frank Act, but I like it. Wall Street reform. It's really important stuff. You guys should read about it. But send him my regards, because that's...
Sure, absolutely. I think he's the head of the MPAA now.
That's right.
And so they're the people that rate your movies. He's a really great guy. I've talked with him at certain points in my life, and he's always given me guidance. I'm actually named after him. My name's Christy. You know my name, and his name is Christopher. And so they originally thought I was going to be a boy, and so I'm named after a senator now.
Now I haven't met him, but he does seem really cool. So that's a cool coincidence. You can send him my regards. You can say this really obscure comedian who did a panel with me is a big fan of your work. On the USS Hornet is a fan of your work. So let's get back to something that they're actually interested in, and not the Dodd-Frank Act. So, of everything you've done, and it doesn't have to be Disney Channel related, but of everything you've done, like, what is the project?
Because I actually have done other things.
I know, that's where I'm getting to that. And you also, I mean, you have a degree in film, or a master's degree in film?
Literally, it's taken 12 years to get my degree in college. I just got it in, like, June.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can we give her a hand?
I appreciate that, love.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, it was cool. I studied a lot of classical work and cinema, and Martin Scorsese's the man, and I've since started getting into the idea of becoming a producer and a director, because we need more female directors. And so I've just been seduced by this idea of being in charge, which is so impossible of me.
That's right.
So yeah, and that's the best part about playing all the characters I've played is I've sort of been brainwashed by them, thinking they can do anything. So
there you go.
A part of me is just like, I can do that, sure, why not? Why, you can't tell me I can't.
That's right.
But then the trick is, though, if you put your energies into too many different things, is when people start to confuse you. They don't know who you are and what you're about. So that's actually can be a deterrent for people, knowing who you are. So I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, I'm really happy that I've stayed under the radar. I wouldn't have changed. I wouldn't have it any other way. But then the other way, I'm like, well, maybe there's points in my life where I could have just done voiceover, or I could have just done TV, but then I would have missed out on a lot of different things that you need in life, and then maybe I would have become a train wreck. Who knows?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Who knows?
Exactly. And by the way, beautiful ring. Great job. Thanks. by your.
Did you propose? Oh no, you're getting married.
Yeah.
So it's happening.
Oh yeah, it's a month.
She said
month
yes.
and a half. Yeah, she said yes.
Okay.
Very
Where are you
excited.
getting married? Around here?
Down in Santa Clarita. I'm from here, but I live in the LA area now. Okay. Oh yeah, on the USS Hornet. Yeah, we're doing the island tour. We're gonna finally.
I see what you did. You brought it around.
That's right.
You brought that joke back.
It's a callback. It's a callback. So yes, we're getting
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mazel.
Thank you guys too. I appreciate the support. There's no applause.
No applause.
I know.
That was atrocious.
But well done though. Well done. Give him my regards. So give Chris Dodd my regards, and then give your husband my regards. Brendan Looney, look him up.
Rooney.
Is he? What does he do?
Rooney. Oh, he's
Rooney. Sorry.
Get it right.
So you rolled the R, so it sounded like an L.
He's super Irish, right?
Okay.
No, he's from here. But yes, was a Marine. He's a screenwriter. Great guy.
Nice.
Couldn't be here. Wanted to be here actually, but is on a retreat to write. He's on a screenwriting retreat with other veterans, military veterans.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, things are good. Things are great. You were asking a question about other works.
Well, yeah, just right now, like I mean, you're you have your film review, you're talking about being interested in directing and producing. Is there something that you're working on right now that you're, or that you have worked on, or that you want to?
Let's see. Well, there's so many ways to answer the question.
Or all of the above. We have time.
Okay, so I recently finished a Wes Craven film. As many of you may know, Wes Craven passed away. And I think she meant that out of like support, not like support for him dying.
Oh, no one else is clapping. She said he died. I'm not clapping for him dying.
I got
There we go. Let's get a slow clap for Wes Craven, everyone.
Slow clap.
Okay.
Oh. Anyway, he was the EP of this film called The Girl in the Photographs. Cal Penn is in it. Kenny Warmold is in it. He was in Footloose or something. And there's a lot of really great talent in it, including me.
Right.
I have a small part in it, but it's kind of an integral part to the film, which I can't go into any more detail with it.
You're the X Factor.
But it was just at the Toronto Film Festival, which is a really big film festival, and it got really well received. And it's Wes Craven's last film, so it's kind of worth seeing. So if you guys see it, I'm not sure if it'll pop up online or VOD or whatever, but when it comes out, you should definitely watch it. I think it's really smart. It's not just your typical horror slasher fest. It's like also got interesting.
It's the thinking man's horror.
It is. That's exactly what it is. You see the theme. There's a theme.
Right.
But yeah, so then I did a Lifetime movie not too long ago that was just on the air called Deadly Daycare.
Uh-oh.
I steal a baby.
Hide your kids.
Yeah, hide your kids, because I do have baby fever. I stole someone else's baby. Wasn't my own.
Oh, in the movie?
In the movie.
Oh, okay.
Not in real life.
Word for a second.
Not yet, no.
True Confessions with Christy Carlson Romano.
This took a turn.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll get back. Lifetime.
We'll couch that.
In the movie, you steal.
Yeah, and that was great. And that was with Kayla Ewell, who's from Supernatural, I believe. That was a really fun. Bryce Johnson, too, who I think is in Pretty Little Liars. And that will probably go on, air again and again and again, as they do with Lifetime Movie Network or whatever. And I'm producing-wise, I'm trying to produce a documentary about child actors.
Oh?
I have some really great child actors that are going to be interviewed by me. One of them is Mara Wilson from Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't know if you guys remember her from Matilda. And then Yeah. And then the little boy from Jerry Maguire, Jonathan Lipnicki.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a ton of people that I'm aiming to interview, but it's not going to be an E-True Hollywood story. It's mostly talking about how child actors rehabilitate themselves after fame. And like what that looks like in reality, because we all talk about it. We talk about where are they now, and it's something I get asked all the time, but it's something that I think is a much more sensitive issue than people realize. So I'm really excited to do something like that for my quote-unquote community.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Where is Rufus the Naked Mole Rat now? Is he?
Oh, he just went off the deep end. He just went off the deep end.
I'm sure you get asked that a lot.
He's working at Bueno Nacho.
Whoa, no.
And he's taking late shifts because there he is, actually, right there.
Yeah.
And he's late for work. He's a bum. You're a bum. Get back to work.
But that's really fascinating. I think especially from, as it seems, your very sane, well-balanced life that you've created for yourself after that kind of fame at a young age. It's kind of an interesting way to look at it from someone like, from a lens as a producer and maybe a director of it, where what that's like, you can fully understand it. Are you going to be in it as well? Are you going to be interviewed as well?
That's kind of the $1,000,000 question. And I'm willing to be in it so that people can really see what it means to live this, But we'll see, because I want to get people that are. It has to be sort of film festival worthy in order for this to be to make an impact.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. I'm not rushing this. I already have about 30 minutes to an hour of footage.
Mm-hmm.
But with documentaries, like, you could literally develop them for a couple of years.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited about that. That's kind of. It's called Looking After. Because there's a program that is called Looking Ahead that Fred Savage is on the board of, and they have social workers and a bunch of other people who actually help teach these kids like financial classes and how not to blow their money, and they facilitate conversations with their parents so that their parents don't take their money, and it's a very necessary thing that people don't really realize should happen.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like it's very timely as well for our generation because everyone is so fame obsessed today.
Right.
And the fact that you guys have been through it and you're people that we grew up around and probably either looking up to or idolizing or whatever, to kind of have it from you guys of like, this is kind of the other side. I think it's very interesting, and I think I support it. I am actually a big financier of films. I'm a very successful venture capitalist.
Thanks.
So I have like $35
Done.
checking. So if I can get a little distribution deal for you, you got it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Even if it's at like your house.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Apartment. It's a 1-bedroom, but it's in the living room area. We run the business from there.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll take it.
Yeah. No, of course. So, so you're married. Do you have any pets? Do you have any? You said
I do. I have a Brussels Griffin.
What is that? Is that a vegetable?
I can pull up a picture. He's like, I don't know if anyone's ever seen As Good as It Gets.
Oh yeah.
But he's from he's basically that character. He looks like an Ewok. Okay, he looks exactly like an Ewok, and he's the most adorable dog. He's getting old now though, so unfortunately, I don't know. I have to find a proper picture because he would kill me otherwise. But anyway, yeah, so I have a dog, and I live in West Hollywood, which is a crazy area. It's basically like Bourbon Street.
Yeah, it is.
But you know the area, because you said you live around there?
I'm adjacent. I'm in Santa Clarita.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, that's
wow, you guys have some wind.
Yeah.
I shot that Lifetime movie there, and Santa Clarita has like 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Although I'm more like downtown Santa Clarita, so we actually don't get crazy. But yeah, on the outskirts where they shoot a lot of stuff, it's crazy.
I don't know if everyone can see this. It's not
you
very
guys
bright.
Can see, right?
No, probably
Zoom
can't
in.
see it. Can anyone see it? I know. Yeah, that's not, and it's so dark.
Let me see.
You can see it.
Oh, that's an Ewok. That's
he's an
really
Ewok,
adorable.
basically.
That's really adorable.
Yeah, he's a smush face.
Yeah.
A furry smush face.
It's like a furry pug almost.
Yeah, like
that's
a furry
adorable.
pug.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
So I feel like, are we ready? Are you ready for the Q&A? Or do you want to do the Q&A? I mean,
of course I want to do
the Q&A.
I'm done.
Yeah, she's out. She's out.
No, of course. I hope everyone has some good questions.
Better bring it.
Come on.
Otherwise, I'll keep asking questions about the Dodd-Frank Act.
I don't even know about it.
And the legislative process.
This guy just left. He got so nervous about his question.
You said the Dodd-Frank Act too many times. I'm out of here.
Okay, who's up? Okay, Wonder Woman.
Hello.
Hi. He's leaving too.
Oh wait, and sorry.
Oh no, you're getting in line.
Before we get everyone, line up here for the questions.
Okay, great, yeah.
Here's how we do it if you weren't here for the other ones. You say your name, where you're from, and then if you've dressed up as someone, who you've dressed up as. And then, if you want to say your favorite joke of mine, you can do that too, right? Because everyone has one, no?
Of yours?
Yeah.
A favorite joke of yours?
Yes.
That you just said?
No, I mean...
In general?
This proves how unfamous I am. I do stand up, yeah, it's... no one knows, but...
No.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Big fan.
Hello, I'm Natalie. I'm from Union City, California. And I'm just dressed up as myself.
Boom!
Hey, you know what? You're a hero. You're a hero.
But I have an obsession with very strong female characters. My childhood was basically filled by Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, so I'm kind of nervous right now because I was a big Brent Stevens fan growing up, and definitely Kim Possible. But I do want to ask about Even Stevens because one of my favorite episodes was the musical episode. It was so witty, it was so campy that I love it. I think I still have the VHS tape of it that I recorded.
Wow, that's going way back.
Yeah. So I just have a question if you still remember the production of that and do you have any good tales from that?
Let's see. I remember the song. We went to the moon in 1969.
Any other funny stories
I get everyone always tweets. Oh, thank you.
That would be $50.
It was hard for me to say.
$50 check payable to Christy Carlson Romano.
I I do remember that. I remember because I had had some musical theater experience in the past. I think it was a lot of fun to be able to sort of show the rest of the cast, like to flex my muscles in that way. But at the same time, it was kind of funny to see all of them start singing too. Like there's a scene that Shia sings with Margot and AJ, the characters of, oh my gosh, his girlfriend and Twitty. Wow, this is really going way back now. It's so weird. But yeah, it was a great time. I remember we had a lot of rehearsal because we had to basically rehearse it as if it was, you know, I'm sure they rehearsed High School Musical as much as they did for us. Except with High School Musical, ours was before High School Musical, if you remember. So there was never, Disney Channel had never done a musical before Even Stevens. I just want to point that out.
Oh, gee.
And because Even Stevens' musical episode was so popular, they decided probably to move in the direction of doing more musical shows. So they're like mob mentality like that. Like if it works, then they do it like again and again and again and again and again. Which is why musicals work so well on the show.
So basically, if you don't like High School Musical, it's Christy's fault.
It's all my fault. Yeah, it's all my fault.
And you were Belle.
You can blame me for Zac Efron.
You were Belle on Broadway in Beauty and the Beast, right?
I was, yeah, I was Belle.
The thinking man's Disney princess.
Also, we're seeing the theme.
The theme. Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Does that work? Do I have any funny? I don't think I have like funny stories other than it just being like a lot of like rehearsing. Thank you. Bye, Natalie.
Good question.
Hello, sir.
My name is Nate. I'm from New York City, California. Staying with her. I'm cosplaying an Inkling from Splatoon.
Cool.
Yeah. So my question is that I know that you have done a lot of voice acting for, you know, Kim Possible and some other guest voice acting from Disney Channel shows as well. So I was wondering, like, I haven't heard from you in voice acting for quite a while, actually. I've been thinking about going back to voice acting for animated shows.
Well, no, actually, I do a lot of audiobooks. A lot of audiobooks. A really cool audiobook I just did was called Fancy Suits and Futuristic Violence, or is it Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits? That's what it is, David Wong. And it was such an awesome book. But I am a voice on Minecraft now, on the new Minecraft game. There's a whole bunch of celebrities that are in the game, and I'm in the game. Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
I didn't play Minecraft, so I don't know.
I know that, you know, some people do, some people don't. But this one I think is more of like an interactive, like it's got some sort of a movie element to it, or it's more of like a narrative. But we're also hoping that Kim Possible might be going to Disney Infinity. I had dinner with John Vignocchi a couple weeks ago, and I also met with all the Disney Infinity people, Disney Interactive, and you know, I think they're really interested in Kim Possible's fans. They want to know that like you guys like love Kim and you want to see her come back. So if you guys really do love Kim, like tweet about it. Tweet at Disney Infinity, because they're really thinking about, you know, whether or not she should be one of their players. And
Rufus needs a job, so please do it.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool. I think they might start with KP, and then perhaps they could maybe they'll have like a set of all of us together. But that would be so cool.
That'd be awesome. Actually.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, keep a lookout, basically.
Oh my god, I'm pretty nervous right now.
Oh, don't be.
Yeah, you're a big part of my childhood, but...
Thank you. No worries.
So I'm Jericho. I'm from the mean streets of Oakland, which is like a...
Mean streets.
Yeah.
What?
I'm cosplaying as Bolin from Legend of Korra, which is pretty much, I'm the Ron Stoppable of that show.
I love that.
But, yeah, so I've seen you work as a voice actress in Kim Possible, Even Stevens in the TV show, and Cadet Kelly in the movie. I was wondering, like, how is it working between all those different mediums?
Yeah, you know, I get this question a lot, but it's a great question. And I was mentioning it to somebody earlier about how when you're on stage, like when I was doing Belle, or you're, you know, just behind a microphone, your level of exertion in terms of your physical force is very different. So, I mean, you still have to, imagine yourself fighting a villain, which is totally crazy, but you still have to envision it so that you can make the sound real. But when you're on stage and I'm fighting, you know, in the Belle dress, or, you know, the wolves, the beast, everything like that, or dancing and be our guest. I mean, that's it's a lot of work. Like kicking your legs and running and falling and getting up and even singing. Singing is actually a lot of work. So you don't really get to catch your breath. So that's exhausting. But when you're doing, something with the microphone right in front of you, even if I'm doing like audiobooks and stuff like that, I have to make sure that I keep my pacing, has to be a very specific pacing. Or if I'm doing an action adventure, scene, it has to be a very specific intention. So it just has to like come alive, and it has to sound like it's actually happening. So I always thought it was interesting when they were like, she makes a grunt, she makes this, she makes that, and the sounds you would have to make almost sound like kind of like, I don't know, pornographic is the word I guess you would use. But like you make them, but you're like, but that's not what this is, so don't look at it like that. This is only about what Kim Possible. This guy is just.
Okay.
This guy over
here.
He heard the word pornographic. And
yeah.
I'm a tool.
By the way.
I'm a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, you keep your head in the game, you do your best with everything that you get offered, and you make it as real as possible for you. So if you guys are interested in becoming voiceover actors, definitely get a demo together and make sure that every time you do a voice that it sounds like you're 120% believing a very unrealistic situation. And also, find the voices that you really like. Like if you know that you like certain anime, like her, like anime voices, or Tiffany, whoever it is, like just mimic their voices or try to listen to the way they use their voices and sort of like put that on your demo.
Yeah, my demo, you want to keep it tight, so I did 15 minutes straight of Pinocchio.
Can you do your Pinocchio voice?
No.
Oh my gosh, come on, do it. I'm a real boy. It's very
right? 15 minutes, thank you. No, I don't do a 15-minute Pinocchio reel. It's why I'm unemployed, so don't do it. I'm a cautionary tale. But thank you, that's a very good question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, I'm Eric from South San Francisco.
Hi.
I'm dressed up as Morty, and my friend is...
Oh my gosh! Rick and Morty! We love that show. That's awesome.
So I kind of have two questions.
Yes.
One, like if Disney's been doing a lot of live action remakes of the cartoons and stuff lately.
Yeah.
Would you want to be involved in like a Kim Possible, like if they
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I feel like actually, somebody just asked me about cosplaying Shigo for Halloween, and it could be kind of cool to do that. But I think I would be way too old to do Kim. But it just depends. I think we actually tried to get Kim Possible to be live action when it was originally on in like 2005 or 2006. Like we originally tried. I dressed up in a Kim Possible outfit, red wig and everything. We sent it to like Walt Disney Studios, and they were like, "What is this? Why are you holding a hairdryer?" It's like not even like an attempt at looking like a gun. This is awkward.
Did you make the grunting noises in that one too?
I did. Of course, I did the grunting noises.
Yeah.
You had to believe in it. You gotta believe and commit.
That's right.
But yeah, no, it would be so cool if they did do something like that. But maybe I would have a cameo. Like maybe all of us would have like little cameos in it.
So the second question is that since you mentioned you're going to try and do stuff with Disney in the future, so now they have Marvel and they have Star Wars. Would you want to try and get into any of those projects, or is anything like you're looking into?
Oh my gosh, of course.
Any character in specific?
Character specific. I mean, a lot of people are taking all the the bigger characters. So I really love Once Upon a Time. It's a show that I watch pretty much. And I know that it's like, I was saying to somebody that Camelot is this year, and I'm looking for, it's actually on tonight, right? It's like
tomorrow night.
Oh, Sunday, sorry, got my days mixed up. But I've like religiously watched Scandal and Once Upon a Time, and I think either one of those shows would be awesome for me to be on. But Once could be really fun to be some sort of a character on there. I don't know who I would be.
Thank you.
Because Belle's taken.
Yeah.
KP! Hello, Ron.
Hey, KP. Alright, my name is
So cute.
Alright, my name is Robert, Daly City.
Hi, Robert.
And I have two questions.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite episode to work on Kim Possible?
Huh. I usually answer the question with saying that I really like the episode where they switch bodies. Because when I was recording that, I had to, I believe, we didn't switch voices. So I'm pretty sure, I'm not remembering actually if we had to switch voices or not. That was the question, was whether or not we were going to switch voices. So like his body would be my voice, or my voice would be his body, or something like that. So, but I just remember this one line on that where he's like, "My hair is so flippy," and it's such a funny line. And Will was always so funny with the way he like, you know, I never got to see him actually, unfortunately. I was in college at the time in New York, and everyone was having a blast doing group reads and recordings in LA. So I was never there with them. I always feel really bad. I regret that I only did a couple times in the studio with everybody together. That is definitely one of my favorite episodes. I'm trying to think what else, but the movie, The Stitch in Time, is really great. You know, like Dakota Fanning was Little Kim Possible, and we had a lot of star talent in the movies that we actually have. And so it was just a great time.
Morgan Freeman in one of them, right?
Oh, we did?
I think so.
Was it in The Stitch in Time?
Yeah, I think so.
That's insane.
No, he wasn't.
Okay. You're just punking me. Yeah, I'm gonna send you the island.
Although
not funny
actually,
anymore.
He's in a lot of movies. You never know.
He's in every single movie.
It's true. The odds are he probably was.
He's here right now somewhere.
Yeah.
Narrating what was happening.
He's the island tour
He
guy.
is that guy. That's Morgan Freeman.
That's Morgan Freeman as the lonely island guy.
Thank you. So I hope that answers. Do you want to, anything else?
Second question is,
What's that?
What was it like working on the Even Stevens movie?
On the movie?
Yeah.
So the Even Stevens movie happened 2 weeks in Hawaii. And I really feel like I deserved that vacation, even though I was working. Because I've been, you know, working next to Shia for many years, and he was trying my nerves as a little brother type. But I was also trying to get in college. I was like in high school. I was like working nonstop. On the weekends, I would literally go like, I would work 12 hours. I would go home. I would have a tutor, and every day would be a different subject. And then on the weekends, I would record Kim Possible, and then I would have an SAT tutor, Saturday and Sunday. Like, I would be lucky if I had Sundays off.
That's crazy.
So I had an insane schedule, insane. So I finally, when we went to Hawaii for the Even Stevens movie, it was just really good time. We got to stay in a beautiful place. It was such a blessing. And it was like saying goodbye to your family, you know, and like taking one big vacation before I went off to college for the year. And then came back. And then I left college. That's why it took me 12 years to finish, because I ended up doing Beauty and the Beast on Broadway. So I left school to go back to Disney. So yeah, but it was a great time. I had a great time.
All right, thanks, KT.
Thanks. Bye. Hi.
Hi, I'm Chuck. I came down here from Vallejo.
Cool.
And I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan.
Oh yeah.
I was so bummed they recast that role in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, me too.
So I was wondering if, one, would you like to play Yuffie in Kingdom Hearts 3? 2, would you want to see a Kim Possible world in a Kingdom Hearts game? And 3, is there any kind of gig you'd want to work with David Boreanaz on?
Oh wow. Okay. That's a good multi-question there. Yes, of course. I mean, if they Mae Whitman is the Yuffie voice from what I'm told, and she does a fantastic job. And I've even complimented her on Twitter about being a great Yuffie, and she's favorited that or retweeted it or whatever. So there's no beef. There's no Yuffie beef happening.
Just watch it on Twitter.
No beef between us. I think it's great, and obviously there's lots of people who do lots of different, you know, characters at different times. Like I actually was Angelina Jolie's voice match for a Kung Fu Panda video game at one point. And then Melissa Disney, who's another huge voiceover actress, ended up doing it after me. So it's all about just, it's so random, like who gets cast for what. In regards to the Yuffie thing, I think it actually would be a better compromise for there to be a KP world in Kingdom Hearts. If she doesn't get on Disney Infinity, I think like we should keep the KP world alive, because she's such a great character. She's maybe not have superpowers, but she has gadgets. She has a naked mole rat. She's got kung fu skills.
Right.
She's got a moral conscience. And I don't know, I think KP fits right in to where video games are headed, and also she's not alone. She's got Rufus, she's got Ron, and she's got really cool villains in her world. Like, her villains were always interesting, and they kind of had weird superpowers. It was almost like very like Scooby-Doo, right? Like the fish boy that we had, Monkey Fist, Duff Killigan. I mean, it was like we had the coolest, weirdest Scooby-Doo type villains, but they always had like weird, like, I don't know, genetic things that they did to themselves. So I don't know. I think that's great, you know. And then David Boreanaz, I think I've met him in person once or twice, and I have, if there was an opportunity that came along, I'm sure I would absolutely work with him. Yeah, why not?
Cool, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, so this is going to be our last question.
Oh, no.
We've been
Seriously,
called.
I can answer
Although actually,
quickly?
you know what? Let's do a lightning round. He's been
Lightning round.
Corona, California. You guys, we're going to do a lightning round. 5 minutes. Can we have 5 minutes? We got 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. Let's. I got a chair shake and was told to be done. So 5 minutes lightning round. You guys go.
Okay, I gotta go fast. Okay, cool. Question. My name's JV.
Yes.
I'm from Hayward.
Yes.
If anyone cares. Okay, so you've done a lot
I don't care.
Awesome.
Where are you from?
Hayward.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So you've done a lot of, voice acting, things like that. And
Yeah.
Not really talked about here. You've been in Avenue Q.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good knowledge. Good knowledge.
But my question is more for something I don't think a lot of people know about this, but how do you feel about being Quagmire's one-night stand?
We're getting real.
Yeah, I was on Family Guy. I was on Family Guy twice. I was Jessica Alba's like voice or whatever in one of them, and then I was in Quagmire's One Night Stand. I was originally, this is kind of weird. So I was originally Quagmire's one night stand, or I was actually the one that comes back and then death kills her and all that stuff. But they replaced me with the woman who plays Shigo. I know Seth, MacFarlane, and I was like, I never got to ask him and be like, dude, you do realize that you replaced me with my co-star on my show, like that was gonna get back to me at some point. We still haven't touched base on that, but that's okay, because they brought me back and then I was on again. And just to be able to see that you're on Family Guy is pretty awesome. But I was on the first time. They just demoted me to like what I guess they call it like an extra part, like there's another role. So originally I was like the starring guest star role, but then I got demoted. That is so not cool.
It is not.
Because I was like, well, here's the hardest part, and I was like, hey Seth, so like when is that episode gonna come out? When is that episode coming? And then nobody told me for like the longest time. I think that's why. That's okay. No beef. No beef.
No beef.
All truth. No beef.
Straight up, OG.
JD, thank you for your awesome question.
Hey, we're in the house.
I got to clear some air.
Corona, how we doing?
Hello.
Hi. Good. What's up?
Hi. I'd just like to know, was there any performance where you had to improvise? Did you use improv?
Oh, I have a great story. Well, at least with Beauty and the Beast. Avenue Q, I was like, I had to learn how to puppeteer, which was really cool. But with the Beast, there's a scene at the end where I have to like basically run away from the Beast, and he hands me the mirror. And I take the mirror, and that's how I see him getting hurt by Gaston and everything. So we're in the garden, me and Beast, yeah, and his eyebrow falls off. But it's like a really emotional scene. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, Beast, I can't. I'm like, Beast, I can't. So I have to try to keep it together as much as possible. And that to me was very, very, very hard to do. And then another time during Be Our Guest, I have to run over a magic carpet, and I slipped and hit my knees on a metal stage, and it hurt like a bee. And there was little kids in the front row, and they were like, oh! But since you're Belle, you can't cry. So I got up and just smiled through the pain. So live theater is really tough. It's tough work.
Gotta be an OG.
Gotta be an OG?
Gotta be an OG.
A thinking man's OG.
That's right, a thinking man's OG.
Okay,
Thanks,
lightning
buddy.
round.
Hi, my name's
You've been so
Adondre.
patient.
Yeah.
I'm Adondre from Union City. I'm dressed as Adondre from Union City. And
My question isn't really a question about like the voice acting and stuff. It was
That's
just,
okay.
I have a friend named Ron.
Okay.
And we do this thing where we go to cons and we have like voice actors and stuff send videos to the person.
Okay.
I thought that since you were the voice of Kim Possible and his name is Ron,
yeah,
that you'd be able to do a video for him.
Yeah, sure.
Like after the Q&A, if you'd be willing to do like
sure, why not? Absolutely. You'll have it, if you can have it over there standing by, I'll be able to do it really quickly.
All right.
Thanks.
And you said I was supposed to say my favorite joke from you.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
So I would go, the island joke.
Oh, there you go.
The island joke?
Yes,
Thank you.
It's a good joke.
It's a classic. It's an instant classic.
I bet that guy hates us. He probably can hear everything.
Yeah, I know.
And he's like, you. Okay, last one.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Nick. I'm from Alameda.
Hi, Nick.
You mentioned talking with Mara Wilson about the video for child actors.
Yeah, yeah.
She's been working on Welcome to Night Vale recently. Have you been interested in working on that?
What is it called?
Welcome to Night Vale, the podcast series.
Oh, cool.
Has she mentioned that at all about, or have you any interest in working on that?
You know, I have to check in with her about that. I'm happy that she's working because she's so talented and so intelligent. She's been writing a lot for her blog, and her Twitter feed is huge. I'm just so happy that like when people can use their experience from their career and then make themselves a better person for it, in spite of, you know, the haters, the trolls, like people who want to be like, where are they now? They've ruined their lives, even when they didn't do anything to deserve it. Mara is an example of somebody who like literally was like, you know what? I don't want to be famous. I just want to be good at what I love doing. And like, I totally support her from like afar, and I can't wait to meet her because we actually haven't met in person yet. But we've social media wise, we've been touching base, and I'm just really excited about the future of not only KP and whatever comes with that, or if I work with Disney again, or if any of my other projects take off. Things are in a good place, and I'm just really glad that you guys allowed me to come to Kraken, and I love you all. So thank you so much for your time.
Let's hear it for Christy Carlson Romano, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Give her a hand. Give her a hand.
I'm gonna sign in a minute so you guys can come.
Yeah, come by. Come by.
Yay!
Yay! Yay! Thank you. Thank you. This was fun. Thank you. You too. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. We're gonna have another panel coming up in just a few minutes, so if you want to stick around. And Christy will be signing some autographs too, so you can do that. You guys have been beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sticking around for the Squiddly Show. We love you.